Chapter 12, Mishnah 6. This Mishnah gives a step-by-step description of the chalitza procedure. The mitzvah of chalitza is performed as follows. The Yavam and his Yevama come to the court, and the judges give him advice appropriate for him as to whether he should do Yibum or chalitza. For example, if there is a significant difference in age between him and the Yevama, they advise him to do chalitza. If not, they advise him to do Yibum. The source for this practice is as it is stated in the Torah in reference to chalitza, Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 8. And the elders of his city shall call him the Yavam, and they shall speak to him. That is, give him the proper advice. If the Yavam decides to go ahead with chalitza, the actual chalitza ceremony begins. And the Yevama says the following verse there, verse 7. My Yavam refuses to establish a name for his brother in Israel. He is not willing to take me in Yibum. And the Yavam says the following verse, verse 8. I do not want to marry her. And they would say these passages in the Holy Tongue, Hebrew. The ceremony then continues with the actions described in the following verse, verse 9. Then his Yevama shall approach him before the eyes of the elders, and she shall remove his shoe from upon him and spit in front of him. This verse also teaches that the Yevama should spit an amount of spittle that is large enough to be visible to the judges. The ceremony continued with a final statement by the Yevama, as described by the following verse, verse 9. And she, the Yevama, shall declare and say, so shall be done to the man who will not build the house of his brother. This too, she says in Hebrew, with the actual words of the verse. The Mishnah describes how the procedure of saying the verses changed over the course of time. Originally, the courts, used to dictate to the Yavam and the Yevama the verses they needed to say only until this point, but no further. That is, they dictated only the passage, so shall be his brother's house, verse 9, for the Yevama's final recitation, but not the next verse in the Chalitza chapter, verse 10, and his name, etc., see below. This is because biblically this verse is not part of the Yevama's declaration. But when Rabbi Hirsch dictated the Chalitza passages under the elm tree in the village of Etam and completed the whole chapter, even the verse, and his name shall be called, etc., which the Yevama then repeated after him, it became the established custom of all the courts to complete the whole chapter in their dictation to the Yevama. The conclusion of the Chalitza ceremony is described in the following verse. Verse 10. And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of the one whose shoe was removed. This means that it is a mitzvah for the judges to proclaim the words, the one whose shoe was removed, but it is not a mitzvah for the students who are sitting in front of their teacher at the ceremony to say it. The next Tana disagrees. Rabbi Yehuda says it is a mitzvah for all those standing there to say, the one whose shoe was removed, the one whose shoe was removed, the one whose shoe was removed.